Hi everyone, this is Avinoam, and I am going to talk about a funny kind of a Alaska file that we received yesterday at A&P. The job was 31333, as you can see here on box. So here we have the zip file version and the on like the opened zip file folder over here. So I've gone ahead and I've already downloaded the entire job contents. Just to show you again, the best way to do this is to click on these three little dots and then on download, and then the zip file will download for you into one folder. So then you just drag and drop that out onto your desktop, and then you can see the exact same thing that we saw in box, but now on our computer. So if we open up the unzipped folder, you can see that this is definitely a CPlayer type of file, but the files are like disorganized. Normally, in CPlayer files, we see like a certain folder structure. So for example, I'm just opening up here another job, 31341, and this is how these jobs typically look. You have a bin folder, you have the sessions outside, like in the main folder, and then you have these numbered folders, 0001, 2, and this can go up to 10 even, with 001, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all different all the way up. And then like the request and any other information is outside. This is really irrelevant to the audio, the request file. I mean, doesn't have anything to do with making the audio play. So if we look in these folders, we can see that the bin folder always has CPlayer, foot, I don't know what this is. I don't know what any of these things mean, all right? Foot XVD, and then SB play. And then these, the 000 folders have like the other files, .dat and .tpd files. And you can see, if you look very kind of closely, you can see that these are different. Like this is 0800.dat, and this is 0800.tpd. That's in folder 1, and folder 0, they were 08IN7600. So these are all 7600, 00012, and these one have no numbers. And then these are like now with 9U. So there's like sets of files that have to go in these numbered folders, and that can definitely be tricky because we don't necessarily know the order of them. But the point is that we have our bin folder with these files and then the numbered folders. So if we go back to this particular job, so what we have to do is we need to make these files in a similar structure to how they're supposed to look. So the first thing I'll do is I'll make my bin folder, and in the bin folder I know I need my CPlayer, my foot, and my SB play. So I would just move that into there. Now let me just show you what happens if we just try to run CPlayer like as is without the file structure. So we would open up CPlayer, and then it's asking me select index to open. So that's like your tip off that this isn't going to work. But the one that I would try to do is the sessions, and then it does open it, but it doesn't play, and like there's no audio here, and you don't see any of the you don't see any of the notes in here if there would be any. So I mean, it gives you that the file is like an hour long, right? But it doesn't play, it doesn't work. So what we got to do is we got to organize it. So we put the foot, CPlayer, and SB play into the bin. Okay. And now we want to make one of these 000 folders. And in that folder, we're basically going to move these guys. These are all the audio files. In this example, the audio files were .dat, with you have a TPD, which I guess is like an indexer of the .dats, but sometimes you also have different versions. Like in this case, they're like technically these .ogg files, you can play these one at a time, in theory. But I don't recommend doing that because normally, for some reason, the quality is very poor when you try to load these files or convert these to a different format. But you can see that they're actually like, these are all 10-minute files, except for this little one. This is a 30-second file. So probably, if I had to guess, this was the decision of the grand jury at the end, like the true bill, and this is the whole case. Okay, now here they all look the same. Like, you remember how we saw how in the 000087600, and here they were like 08JM0 like 00, and here they were 089U. And we can look at different examples just to sort of drive the point home. Here you have another one. Okay. So the auto run and the sessions would go. I don't know if I mentioned the auto run. It's not always there. When there's an auto run, it also goes outside, and the sessions always go outside. The bin folder is your CPlayer, your foot, and your SPplay. And then here you have the OGG and the TPD. It's the same kind of thing. Let me see if I have any other example. Oh, this is this one. See if I can find any other examples. So here we have one with the 00 and a 001 with the OGG. So let's see, 06PUID00 with the TPD. So that's going in to folder 00. And then folder 001, you can see this is 06PTTW. Is that different? Yeah, see, PUID, PTTW. Now, which one goes in the 0000 and the 0001? That's a guessing game. I don't know enough about how the folders work. But going back to our example, you can see these are all the same. These are all 0AONRN. So we know that these are all going to go into the 000 folder. Okay, so now we've taken our folder structure, our files, pardon me, and I'll just show you how that looked again for completeness. Right, we had all of our files randomly, not in folders, and then all we did was we created a bin folder, and in that bin folder we put CPlayer, foot, and SPplay. We made sure that auto run and session stayed outside, and then all of the OGG or .dat along with the matching .tpd went into a 000 folder, and then if we saw different numbers, like different types of series of these, like that probably means there was an off record, right? So that's what it's like a new recording. They would go into another numbered folder. Anyways, that's it. So now the files are organized the way they should be. So now CPlayer can play. You see it opens up right away. It doesn't ask us for our set like index. And here we see the tags, and we can hear audio. I hope you guys can hear that on the video. I'm not sure if you can, but you can see the bars here moving. So that's it. Now, just to further kind of drive the point home, if you would have seen here, you know, sometimes you see like 2 or 3 or 4 sessions, right? So that would be the different folder numbers. Each like 000, 0001, 002 is another line. Let me see if I can bring that up. In like this example here, we should see. Oh, this is CPlayer new. So it's good to talk about CPlayer new. This is the same thing, CPlayer new, except the CPlayer new also has this file, the CS video decoder, also goes into the bin folder. If you see one of those, that should also go into the bin folder. But otherwise, it's the exact same. Let me try to find here this one. So we should see 3 sessions. There you go. See, we see 3 sessions because we have 3 numbered folders. So here we have 3 sessions. One was 29 minutes, one was 30 seconds, one was 1.5 minutes. And if these were .ogg files, right, where the computer could like recognize them, then you would see that these 3 OGG files, you know, would total 29 minutes. In this case, they're .dat, so the computer doesn't know how to do it then. So just to review one last time for you about what we would have to do here is we have to make the first thing, the easiest thing is the bin folder, which in there goes CPlayer, foot, SPplay, and if we have a CPlayer new, would also go in there. Where was that? Here it is. CS video. That would also go in there if it was a CPlayer new version. I guess this is what makes it new. I don't know what this does, but that's what makes it new. And then the auto run, and if there is an auto run, and the sessions stay outside. And then you have to make the numbered folder, and this is definitely the most complicated part, where you have to look at all the other files and try to determine which one should go, like the different set, like the different series, how they look. Like again, these are 06 PUID00, so you have to put all those ones into the 00 folder. And then this is 06 PTTW into the next one. And then to know the order would be very hard to do that. I don't even know if it makes a difference, to tell you the truth. Let's do an experiment, since I have you with me here. Let's call 001 0 and 002 1, and let's see what happens. I theorize that it's going to open it reversed. Thirteen and a half and 31 seconds, and it does play. No, it doesn't play. It doesn't know what to do. So I guess you'll know you did it wrong if it doesn't play. No, nothing is playing. So so this has to, 1 second, let me just fix this. This has to go back to be 0, and this has to go back to 1. So that's like the trickiest part, that I really have no idea what to, like, which ones would go in which numbers. Let me just make sure this still plays. Yeah, it plays good. Okay, so that's the only part that we're not sure about. This particular one was easy, this 31333, because all of these files were all the same. So what that means is, if we open up the CPlayer, the clerk was not good enough to go like off record. So you see here where they go to deliberate to do the true bill. So there's a pause here for 1 minute and 20 seconds. So probably here, if we press play, it's going to be silent. See? Now the audio is going and they're silent, so they just went off record, and the jury went out. They made a very quick decision. I mean, a minute 20 seconds to make someone guilty. That's pretty quick. So you can see here, like the recording is running, and the clerk just left it silent. Normally, the clerks make a new audio. They're like, I guess this is where they press pause instead of stop. So that's why you only had one folder, but you wouldn't know that until after the fact. Anyway, I hope this has been helpful and not overly confusing. Just to review it one last time, when you have this series of files, you want to make a numbered folder and you want to make a bin folder. In the bin goes CPlayer foot, SB play, and that CS video if it's a CPlayer new, if you see that file. Auto run and sessions stay outside. And then you make numbered folders, which is the tricky part. You have to look for the similarly named files and put those in the numbered folders, and hopefully it won't take too much guesswork as far as which one is supposed to be 0 and which one's supposed to be 1 and which one's supposed to be 2. Typically there aren't more than like 1 or 2 or 3 folders, and normally, you know, the first audio is usually the longest, so that probably means there's the most amount of files, and the last audio is shorter. But on those trickier ones, certainly be in touch with me and we can try to work on it. But that's it. Hopefully this won't happen to you, but if it does, just create the folder structure and the files should be able to play. Have a lovely day and happy transcribing. Bye-bye.